Welcome to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined, with your host, the one and only Betsy Tinnervin. On this podcast, we bring you people who share their personal journeys in life, business, and of course, real estate. Get motivated, inspired, and priceless information from entrepreneurs, community leaders, and realtors who are thriving. Now let's get raw and real. Here's Betsy.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host today, Betsy Tinnervin with LPT Realty and the Sunshine Real Estate Investments team. Happy to be here on this lovely weekend. We are so excited that you are with us. Again, want to thank Robert Palmer and LPT Realty for making this show possible. As we all know, there is ever-changing things that happen in our lives. And today was one of those days. We had a couple scheduling errors and we have some people that have canceled. And what's so cool about the culture with LPT and just the people that I have around me in my circle is the three people here today have made it work, made it happen. We've come together. It's going to be a great show for you guys today. We're going to talk about a couple amazing things. We have two agents here originally from other states that have begun their real estate career here in Florida, as well as come from other backgrounds in business, which is pretty amazing. And then I have another agent here that, of course, everyone knows is a familiar face who is so willing to jump in and sub today. And I'm honored to have her here as well, because we are going to dive deep into a little investment lingo for you guys and just what's going on in that space. So without further ado, I have a super cute female in the house today who has done a multitude of things. And believe it or not, she's actually a yacht broker. So it's going to be interesting to hear about how she has merged real estate with her past career. I have Miss Deasia Hooker in the house, and she is a single LPT agent. She moved here from Georgia. She specializes in land, and she's also a yacht broker. So hi, Miss Deasia. How are you?
I'm good. I thank you so much for having me, Betsy.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. The show has allowed me to get to know a lot of the LPT agents that I probably wouldn't get to know. So I think it's awesome you talking to me for a few minutes about just who you are and where you came from. So where did you come from?
So I originally got licensed in Georgia, and then I'm from St. Pete. So it only made sense to come home and do real estate in
Absolutely.
St. Pete. And so I transferred my license down here, and in the midst of taking that test and getting licensed, I became a yacht broker, and that fell right into my lap. So
I love that.
I have those licenses on my portfolio as well.
And I bet you it's very helpful if you are working the St. Pete area and you're dealing with people that want to buy properties on the water and they want to have discussions about, how do I park my boat? What do I do with my boat? How can I watch the sunset? Which way does this happen? Does that happen? It's awesome to have that boating background.
Yes, definitely. It puts you in different rooms with different people that have, I guess, different taste and different tax brackets,
I love that. I love the factor that, that's kind of merged. I think that's awesome. I really honestly was speaking to a couple agents on our team, and my other co-team lead, Jen Spinelli, who's with us today, does a lot of waterfront things. So I think that we should definitely go dive deeper into waterfront properties and why those are important. You and Jen can banter back and forth about that. I also have another single LPT agent in the house today, Mr. Nate Norton, just like the software that everyone wants you to buy. He is an LPT agent. He actually was a real estate photographer and still is. So awesome to have that background and just understand marketing and all of those things. He, believe it or not, was a civil engineer at one point in time. So very cool to see just the array of things on his resume. And he is originally from the PA. So what's going on, Nate?
Hey, Betsy. Thank you for having me. I'm sitting here in this big room full of beautiful women. It's great.
I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, from a little small town outside of Pittsburgh called Collinsville, humble beginnings, just played some sports and just kind of figuring out life from there. Everybody thinks you need to have everything figured out by your 18 and everything. So I'm like, I like construction. Let me get into that. Got the real estate bug, and then just first started out with real estate photography, and just it exposed me to the agents, what they're doing, and, that process of marketing. I'm like, wait, I actually want to sell these houses now. So I want to get into that to get my license. And so I came down here to do that. Great market.
I think that the whole circle of life and stories is amazing. I love what you said and just kind of doing the real estate photography and feeling out the real estate business before jumping into it. I think that we all want to jump into being an entrepreneur, and that's pushed all over the internet. But the truth is, when you actually are like an employee in a craft and you learn the systems, then you just become an amazing like CEO, entrepreneur, like all the things. So I can't wait to dive deep into more of what you do. And everyone knows, like, she is now my new ride or die, and we spend 90% of our life together. And so it definitely is helpful that she is all LPT and here to support agents and help them. We had some people get sick with COVID, and so we had to rearrange some things today. So without further ado, this girl does multi-million-dollar renovation. She sells on the water properties, and she's really supportive to all the agents in the LPT culture, whether they are on our team or not on our team. She's always here to help. Her name is Miss Jennifer Spinelli. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me again.
I am so happy that you're here. I think it's great to see just everything kind of come full circle and what you've been doing. And obviously I know a lot about your story, but I know that before we got here, you were actually picking out the stone for your new renovation project.
Yes, actually, we just landed our permit recently. So I have another multi-million-dollar home being developed over in Reddington Beach right now.
I love that. And I think that it's amazing just to see the array of things that you do and the things that people can connect with you on. If you are an LPT agent or just a realtor in the market, we really have people like Jen, Deasia, and Nate that are a part of this culture that have outside backgrounds and talents. So you definitely should try to plug in and connect here because you can really benefit and learn a ton of different things. So Jennifer, happy to have you, of course, and we will dive deep into a couple things that you do. And so awesome that we also have Deasia here, and we can talk about boats and water and all current. Did you catch that joke? The current things going on. So I'm actually going to come back to you, Nate, for just a hot second because you are on a team and you happen to be on Jennifer and I's team. And again, I thank you so much for rearranging your schedule and jumping in to do the radio today and filling in for people that are not here. But just talk about a little bit, why did you choose to join LPT and why choose to join a team?
Right. I think joining a team is just humongous for the situation I was in, just being interested in real estate, but being the new guy, obviously, and coming down here in a new market, not knowing anybody, not having that big network, obviously. So just jumping on with people with that same mindset with, Jen and you, it was just a no-brainer with training and just having that hand to hold through a couple deals, obviously, and that's huge for any team, but especially with LPT. It's gonna be blowing up like crazy.
So now we just had this merger of the Selling Tampa Bay group, which we're still kind of keeping that with the Sunshine Real Estate Investments Group, and that's Tampa, Miami, Orlando. I'm a lot, Nate. So were you nervous about the merger? Like this show, we do the raw and real of life, business, and real estate. So how did you feel about the merger? No,
it was all good. We had our thing going, just 4 or 5 agents with us, but just joining it with like I said, again, that big family of people that know what they're doing. They know, or they kind of know what they want in life, and they want that extra step. And I was like, man, like, let me just get on this. And it's like I said, it's going to blow up like crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And I do love that you called it a family. I think, Jen, one thing that you and I talked about when we discussed doing this was it's so cool. I know that everyone's really familiar with EXP and their model, and people have really associated LPT with the same model, and it's not. At Grand Prix, for anyone out there that is interested, please contact Deasia, Nate, or Jennifer. You can come to Grand Prix, mingle with LPT, attend a mastermind, even if you are not an LPT agent. The 3 of these people would love to discuss that with you. But one of the things that Robert's going to talk about is the Nexus. And what Nexus allows is people in different downlines, in different groups, to merge together and become a united front. So Jennifer, why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so this is going to be a new opportunity. We always want us to have a great team basis, a great team family. So Robert's going to introduce this new Nexus program, and we just brought over a very large brokerage recently because they want to be added to our team. So we have teams amongst teams, kind of what me and Betsy did. Why not join the force instead of competing with them? So it's going to be a great product that we're going to have to offer all of the LPT agents.
And I also think you should speak for just a second to anyone out there thinking of creating a team or even single agents that we encourage, if they're not on a team, to work with other single agents. Talk about just the discussion between like merging teams and why the strengths and weaknesses and how we kind of work that out.
Yeah, so both Betsy and I are very investment savvy. So it was kind of a no-brainer for us at first to merge our teams together. But for our single agents, most of my agents are brand new to the market, and we do have investment background, but they needed that extra help. And with all of our protocols, all of our assistance that we have there available to them, we get you to the closing table a lot easier than most companies.
I think too, one of the biggest thing we discussed it is just you have a very like business background coming from the multi-million-dollar pizza industry, believe it or not. So for anyone out there listening, we are going to dive deep into what that looks like how you can merge business with what we're doing today. Jennifer is going to speak a little bit about her background. We're going to jump right in with Deasia when it comes to where she's from. And Nate, throw everyone those digits if anyone wants to contact you.
Yeah, for sure. Please reach out. My phone number is 724-961-4485.
Awesome. When we return, we're going to have Deasia and Jen also give out those digits and contact information. Unfortunately, we're going to take a commercial break, and you will catch us after the break.
The best comp plans ever in stock and revenue share, but if we're not closing real estate transactions, all of that is worthless, because ultimately everything starts with a real estate transaction, which starts with a consumer. And so we wanted to arm our agents with the absolute best technology and best marketing tools to do more real estate. And that's, again, I think a big differentiator. I think very few brokerages really sit down and say, how do we provide tools to make sure that our agents can be more productive, sell more real estate, win more listings, win at more listing appointments, help more buyers find that home. And we're very focused on that. And so while we have the best comp plans and the best ways for agents to generate wealth and earn, we also have the best tools, and more importantly, I would say have the best tools to help you be successful in real estate.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin with LPT Realty and the Sunshine Real Estate Investments team. It is awesome to be here. As you know, we definitely bring you the raw and real of life, business, and of course, real estate. Happy to have three amazing people in the studio today. It is not that often that I get to say that we do not have a guest in the studio, which is normally a business owner in the Tampa Bay community, as we are that catalyst and connector representing real estate in Tampa Bay and really bringing in businesses that assist our agents in what they do and just provide value to our community. I'm actually honored to say that we don't have a guest today because I have three amazing realtors that have professional backgrounds as well as current professional backgrounds that also contribute to their real estate business. So as promised, we are going to go back to, we left off with Jennifer just talking about strengths and weaknesses in business, and I'm going to kind of go back and forth with her and Deasia for a moment. Deasia, you are a yacht broker.
Yes. Yes.
And you are like this cute, sweet, petite girl for all the listeners out there. When I think yacht, I just think go big or go home. Man.
Right.
So explain what motivated you to be a yacht broker and what does that exactly mean?
So I was passing, you know where Demon's Landing is by the pier? I was passing there and they had a big sign that said yacht brokers needed. So I'm like, what do I have to do to be a yacht broker? Oh, I called them. I'm like, I'm a real estate agent and I'm interested in being a yacht broker. What do I have to do? And the owner just told me, he was like, if you're willing to learn, I will teach you. And that's what I did. He sent me all the vocabulary, all the things I needed to do to get my license, and the rest was history. He did recently just pass, so I am transitioning to a different brokerage because he left, so I'm looking for something that kind of fits me a little more.
And he was kind of a mentor to you?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see you like getting a little emotional. That's really awesome. I love that, just the factor that you, one, made the call, because I tell people all the time in life, like, closed mouths don't get fed.
Right.
If you're not willing to reach out and make that call and not ask, then you can't receive. So one, hats off to you, just seeing a sign, reaching out, calling. I love that story. And two, I love like seeing kind of the emotion come out when you are talking about him, because the each one teach one method is powerful.
Right.
You know, it's a powerful thing. We're only as good as the people that we lift up. So talk about that mentorship a little bit and just what that was like and how he taught you to do what you do.
So he sent me all of the vocabulary and stuff that I needed to learn, and I studied. And then eventually before he passed, he gave me 4 different boat listings to sell and market. And I just went out there. I posted them on social media. I went to the showings. I had clients come in and view the boats and stuff. And it just went from there. Like,
So you sold all 4?
no, I did not sell all 4.
Okay.
No.
But
they're still on the market.
they're still on the market.
Actually.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
But
awesome.
I did show them and stuff. So
And let's talk about yacht price points. Like those 4 listings.
they're not actually that expensive as you would think, but that's because they weren't like the big Charlies or anything like that. They may range from $5,000 to $20,000, depends on what you're looking for. Now there is some boats that cost more than houses, but they have things that are very affordable and people's
Awesome.
price range.
I love that. That's so cool. And that obviously helps you with people selling real estate on the water.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to touch on that. So, Jennifer, back to you with this business structure and model. Your background is actually in pizza.
No, I wouldn't say that. I was married to pizza.
You were married to pizza.
Yes.
But I do think it's a very intricate situation. The restaurant business is very fast paced and you are actually selling a particular product.
Yes.
So talk to people about what you did selling this product and now kind of going off of what Deasia said, how you're selling houses on the water. How did you merge that and what does that look like?
Yeah, so obviously I started with a family-owned business back when I was married. That kind of started my business, as far as my basis for business.
And for everyone out there, Spinelli is on the market. She is single, so she is available like the 4 yachts that are out there. So she wanted to make that clear. Back when she was married, she is single now, friends.
Oh, geez.
Okay, Spinelli.
Well, moved into, obviously, when I was married, I did start building homes. And that's where I found my love for real estate. I just love designing, starting from scratch, getting it going. So then, love you to death, Mr. Fred. But he was my high school friend, and he was the one selling me all my real estate. So I decided during 2020, to get my license. So I am newly licensed, but that's why I went into real estate as far as an agent was concerned. Then so many people were hitting me up saying, hey, I would love to have you mentor me for this investment. Florida's it, and then now we have the Tampa Bay market that's on fire. So everyone's asking me questions. How do I get into doing what you're doing? So I was like, why not start a real estate team? And that's where I got a couple agents underneath my belt that were investors. We were all from EXP. When I transferred over to LPT, they followed me, and here we are. Now my love is definitely developments on the water. It's a huge market right now, so
I love that.
I'm on number 3.
Let's go back to the pizza, dude. Go back to the pizza and just the intricacy of that business. I think that you don't give yourself enough credit in kind of dumbing that down. It was a full-blown business, ordering in supplies, doing all of those things. How do you take that type of business structure and now apply that to how you run your business today?
Well, you definitely don't want to be in the hole. You got to try to market yourself correctly. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but that's where I'm going now with this conversation is your whole marketing structure. We were a small town, a small business, 2,000 square feet, and we're word of mouth. So your reputation is definitely out there. And we have 3 generations of people at least going into the pizza business right now. So family after family after family of going in. Now we're opening a marketing center, and that's going to be basis for our agents to get out there and promote their business and get them moving forward.
I love that. I think too, I'm going to come to you, Nate. It's so interesting to hear Deasia's background and how she took where she came from and where she is now in the different businesses, Jen's background in the different businesses. So go back to civil engineer days.
I'm glad Jen kind of brought up that point with her love for development and everything. So, we can relate to this. But that's basically why I kind of jumped into real estate to begin with. I would say I was in that schooling, going for civil engineering, but a summer went past after and just watched a show by Sidney Torres, actually. He was a developer in New Orleans. I just looked up what he did. Looked up his name and everything. I was like, he was a real estate developer. And they said that the best 2 degrees to have that, if you want to be that, is a civil engineer or business, for college. I'm like, crap, I'm going for one of them. Let me just jump into this thing. So combining development, like what Jen was saying, to eventually get there with civil engineering, that's what kind of brought me down here as well, to have that kind of goal, like really long term for development, because it's construction related and business related, and I think
You're
pretty
smart,
cool.
Nate.
Yeah,
you have to be smart to be a civil engineer.
I wish I loved the schooling more, but that's the reason why I got out of it, because it was just the schooling that I wasn't good at, and like that's kind of what brought me to this entrepreneurship too, with not being that amazing at school. But yeah, it took some time, but
I think we all learn in our own way. What I really love to hear you say before is that you don't have to have a plan. I think that is like amazing. I think it's crazy that we tell people like at 18 you graduate and you're supposed to have this plan, and there's all this pressure with college. It's all this financial commitment and all these things, and people are just not ready for that. What I find interesting about you is that you didn't really have a plan, but you went into civil engineering, which is all plans. It is all architectural plans. It is all blueprints. And then you're like, okay, that was cool to like have a plan, but that's not really my plan. And then you jumped into real estate photography. And real estate photography goes totally from the structured business world into the creative space. So how do you feel about the factor that we're going to be like working out of a marketing center?
Right. That's huge, especially for today's media, any type of short-term form media, after YouTube, talk, anything. That's going to be huge for marketing, what we're doing, obviously real estate related. But back to what you're saying with photography, I was obviously doing shoots for Smokey Robinson's house, where I was doing little apartments, for these agents and stuff. They needed that service, which needed to be marketed out. So like, you still have agents even today that are, still taking photos with their phones and their cell phones and stuff like that. Can't be happening, in today's market.
Well, we're definitely going to dive into in segment 3 what the experience is. The experience as a client, the experience as an agent, the experience as a yacht broker, a civil engineer, a past restaurant owner. We're really going to talk about what the experience is and how, if you're a business owner, you can apply that in your business, or how, if you're an agent, you can work with your clients and just provide an overall experience. So, Miss DeAsia, could you give everyone your contact information?
Yes, you can contact me at 727-455-4961.
And Jennifer Spinelli, throw out those digits, since I've also announced that you're single.
727-459-9650.
And Nate Norton, not really sure. Are you single too, Nate?
For sure, you got to be.
Oh well, we're throwing out those digits. We got offers out in all capacities today. Yeah, Nate, throw out those digits, man.
Yes, my phone number is 724. Reach out for real estate or that related to.
I love this.
724-961-4485.
I love this show. I love everyone on here. We hope that you're having a great weekend. And again, we're going to pay some bills, and you will catch us after the break.
Biggest win, I think, with the dual path and having these two models is that now we become a brokerage for everyone. No matter where you are in your real estate career, what your goals are today. Maybe today you're not interested in recruiting or having a team, but then one day you wake up and you are. Well, if you're at the wrong brokerage to do that, you're locked in. Where in our model, we're not holding anyone hostage. We're not tying anyone in. You can move between the different comp plans and have that success and really achieve whatever your definition of success is under one brokerage platform, being LPT.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host today, and we are getting loud and crazy in the studio. Most of you listeners know that we get raw and real with the LPT All-Star Radio Show, and we include everything from life, business, and of course, real estate. Again, want to thank Robert Palmer, the executive team at LPT Realty, for making this show possible. We love just being the catalyst and connector in the Tampa Bay community and bringing you all the gems when it comes to business, life, and then of course, real estate. We actually had some little chatter after the break. I know Jen Spinelli pretty well, so I can, chop it up with her a little bit more free on the show, because she can't get mad at me because she's with me almost every day. But Nate Norton is also an agent on our team, and so I was giving him, a little back and forth banter. But DeAsia is in the game with us here. She has also let us know she is also single. So you have 4 single agents on the radio today. So if you're interested in, chatting up real estate with any of us, or, checking out our Facebook profiles, we are all available. So I wanted to throw that out. I'm totally joking for everyone listening. I'm not actually, but I have to say that just to sound politically correct. We bring you life and fun, and we want to be uplifting on this show. We honestly want people to be able to communicate with people at LPT and get information in regards to anything and all thing real estate, life, and business, because we are that catalyst and connector. So as promised, I'm going to circle back to what we kind of ended the second segment on, which is really what the experience is and what these agents feel for them that it is. And then we're going to dive into a couple niches that they specialize in. So Miss Deasia, let's talk about what the experience means to you, whether you are selling a yacht or selling a home or just communicating, maybe consulting someone else about being an entrepreneur. What does providing the experience mean to you?
Well, my business is called Land of Luxury, so I try to give kind of like a luxury experience. I appreciate the journey because real estate is a journey and there's curveballs coming your way all the time. So I just try to make it as smooth as possible and try to make the process fun for my clients.
I love that. I love the word journey. What does the word journey mean to you?
I think it means getting through the obstacles and finding your way, finding your path, and you're going to look back at it one day when you're finally where you want to be, and you're going to appreciate the journey because now you got everything you want and you're rich and you got your feet kicked up. So I feel like the journey really is what makes you or breaks you.
I think the journey too, just like you said, is the steps. Steps is the learning process. It's so crazy to see the four of us. If we all want to go from point A to point B, we may get there in a totally different way, but we're getting to the same place.
Right. I'll see you at the top.
There you go. I love that. So Nate, what does the experience mean for you? Whether you are selling someone a home or maybe you're talking to that person that doesn't know where exactly they want to be in life. Talk about what the experience means to you.
I'm glad Deasia brought up an amazing point with the journey and kind of what she said with that. Back to the engineering, I pretty much am reverse engineering my life, like as we speak, obviously, with just kind of what we spoke about with my journey, obviously, just coming down here and set up that, life kicking back on the beach maybe one day. Less work, obviously, not having to do as much, but we have to go through this stuff right now, take those steps to get there. Obviously, it's not going to be easy, but you just know that's going to come one day. And it's just crazy that I'm living in it, right now. And I think everyone should kind of look at that. There's like tomorrow's not guaranteed. So like everybody has a crazy story. Everybody knows, someone has a crazy story, but tomorrow's not guaranteed. But if you can kind of set your life up in a way where it's enjoyable, why not start today and get after it?
And like being in Florida, we're so blessed to like be here and have warmth and sunshine and be able to go outside, coming from Illinois and South, I have to travel home, unfortunately, for some circumstances this weekend. And I'm looking at the nightly temperatures of being 18 degrees. And I'm like, even if we haven't hit our peak financially or, the home that we want to be in, we can go outside and just like breathe fresh air and sunshine and smell water and salt and all of the amazing things here. So I love that. And it just sounds like too, you're really in your own experience right now. And I think that when you're in your own experience, it allows you to then provide an experience for other people. So I appreciate your candidness and your honesty. All right, Spinelli. So I'm coming to you. Deasia and Nate kind of set the stage of just talking about the experience and obviously, journey and all of that. So what is important to you in providing an experience to an agent that comes to you that wants to be mentored? Like what is important to you and what do you think should be important for the experience for them, whether they're new in the industry or wanting to scale your business? How do you provide an experience for agents on your team?
Well, most is to know what their niche is. If I don't know what they want to specialize in, how can I really mentor them? But they also are learning from my experiences. I have multitude of experiences in different types of business. So like I said, we mostly specialize in investment real estate. So when they come to me, I'm teaching them how to do those analysis. When it comes to my customer basis, I need to get to know them. I need to know what their buy boxes are. I need to know what areas they want to be in, what kind of money are they trying to make off the deal at the end, because you can be all over the place in Tampa Bay. You can be in the millions, you can be in the 5,000s, it can be anywhere. So, getting to know my customer basis is also very important. But having our protocols, having our classes that we teach, I feel like each and every agent has a different experience with us. And it's been great for me. I like the smaller team, but now here I am with a bigger team. So we're still getting used to merging our teams, but I feel like everyone is meshing together. And then I'm finding that a lot of our agents are even coupling up with each other when they find out what their niche is and that they, mesh with that other person, and relationships are all being developed right now.
I think too, like just experience and the definition of like experience and journey and all of the things is that one thing that all of you guys mentioned was basically you have to know the niche, you have to know the demographic, you have to know the person, you have to know all of those things. So for anyone out there that's thinking about mentoring an agent or any agent thinking about getting mentoring, the first thing that you need to establish is goals and what the expectations are. And I think that Deasia kind of talked about going from point A to point B in that journey. You know, everyone's journey can be different, but like, what is the goal? And I think defining success is really important for an investor, for someone buying land, for an agent. Everyone's definition of success is different. So when you are dealing with providing an experience, what may be successful to you is not what is successful to your client or an agent or someone that you're mentoring. So really sit back and just define success with them and go through what's important to them. Then you create that roadmap for them to get from A to B. And that roadmap that you create for them could look totally different than yours. So little gem that I just wanted to drop to everybody. I do want to circle back. I think Deasia mentioned something kind of exciting, and I believe it was land luxury. And I think what's awesome about land is that land doesn't always look luxurious, but the experience of buying it can be really great because you can put whatever you want on it. Like land to me is like a blank canvas, and you just handed someone paint and a paintbrush and is like, go create, go be like what you want to be. So talk about land. Why land? What do you do with it? What did you do with it in Georgia? And what are you doing now?
So like Jen said, when you come into real estate, everybody's like, you need to find your niche. You need to find what are you specializing in? And being licensed in Georgia, I had land that fell into my lap, like $5,000, 1.2 acres, $6,000, 1.25. I feel like if you have land, you can do whatever you want. If you want a garden, if you want to have chickens and cows, you can do whatever you want on it. It's yours. You own it. Nobody can come take it away from you. And one thing that I did learn in real estate school was there's no more land, basically. The land we have now is all the land we will ever have. So I feel like if you want it, you need to go buy it now because it's on the demand.
Well, I also think that with land too, what people fail to understand is they really think the value in real estate is the property, and it's not. The value of real estate is in the land. Definitely. So I think that selling land is awesome. And if anyone out there wants to get in touch with you in regards to land or buying land or developing on land, give them your phone number.
Yes, that'll be 727-455-4961.
And Miss Jen Spinelli, if there's an agent looking to join LPT and wants to join a team, or anyone out there looking for an investment property, throw out those digits.
727-459-9650.
And Nate Norton, I'm going to start calling you Mr. Civil Engineer, because I think that that's something that you should definitely share at our team meeting on Friday. I think that's awesome. Just the blueprint process and the development process, but then jumping into real estate photography, I think is amazing as well. So give everyone your phone number if they are looking to connect with a stellar agent in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, thank you, Betsy. Please reach out, 724-961-4485.
And it wouldn't be the same without a Betsy joke. So just to reiterate, you can find all of them on social media. Nate Norton, Jennifer Spinelli, Deasia Hooker, they're all very attractive and amazing humans. So contact with them, connect with them. I love this show. I love the listeners. We also just want to, give a shout out to everyone down south that is rebuilding in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Port Charlotte. Want to discuss really quick as well, if you want to come to Grand Prix, LPT Robert Palmer is making this feasible. We're having a mastermind, an entire event there. If you're looking to touch base, you can contact any one of those agents. You can also contact myself at 813-609-0229. We are going to pay some bills. We will catch you after the break. Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, the one and only Betsy Tinnervin with LPT Realty and the Sunshine Real Estate Investments team. I have an all-star show today for sure. I have three amazing agents here. If you missed segments 1, 2, and 3, you're going to hit it on the replay and go to our Facebook group, LPT Realty All-Star Facebook group. We have all of the shows, all the playbacks, all the YouTube links. Please check us out, follow on the page. If you're a local business in Tampa Bay and you are looking to get on our show, we have directions on Facebook. Again, you can always contact me as well at 813-609-0229. We want to be the catalyst and connector for all things life, business, and real estate in Tampa. This show is powered by LPT Realty. And of course, Robert Palmer has done it once again. And he is a sponsor, I guess I should say, politically correct, a sponsor for the Grand Prix in St. Pete. A huge race here, big local event, brings a lot of people here to our community. So we are grateful for everyone that comes to visit the Tampa Bay area. And if you're an agent looking to see what LPT is about, you want to attend our mastermind, you can contact Nate, Deja, or Jen for tickets. They can meet with you, consult with you about LPT Realty and what's going on. If you want to see some amazing speakers, there's going to be some awesome people. Shout out to my guy, David Kurz. Talked to him the other day. He's going to be speaking. I'm going to be speaking. Robert is going to be speaking as well, and his time is officially priceless. So we look forward to seeing everyone at Grand Prix. We're going to wrap up the show today, just really getting final thoughts from these three agents. They've done a lot of in their past business-wise and now all jumped into real estate. We know it's a tough market. Interest rates are fluctuating up and down, and obviously Tampa being one of the number one metro markets in the country, appreciation rates are through the roof, which they were prior to being a seller's market. We've always been an apex market where rents are rising and the cost of property is rising. But I really want to just go to all these guys with some final thoughts and tidbits on real estate, life, or business. So, Nate Norton, I'm going to turn to you first. What do you want the listeners to know?
I think for many people out there, I went through just, everybody has their own journey and everything. But, last year and a half, like since I've been down here, almost coming on a year, I've just been doing Uber Eats and pay the bills, like pay my rent. Like I've been living in different Airbnbs and stuff. So that just kind of shows you, if you just reverse engineer your life in a way that you just know where you want to end up at, everything in between, it just needs to be done. Like it's just, it's in the air.
I heard that you delivered a pretty famous guy Uber Eats the other night.
Right. And that's
those are the
that's
things
a good
that
part
happen.
of it. You're right. So knock on the door is just like, you just never know who you're going to meet.
And also just like the amount of people that you get to see. And then, like you said, staying in Airbnbs. I love that. Yeah. As you know, I'm no longer going to buy a personal residence, which is crazy, but I'm going to be living in a tour bus for a year and, just really minimalizing your life. And I'm going to steal from you, reverse engineering your life. That is stolen now. So you can patent that, but I'm definitely going to use that. I may use that when I speak at McAfee Theater, actually. I love that. So just dive a little deeper into that. Like when you reverse engineer your life, it's not about the material things, but it's really about people, places, and spaces.
Right.
So talk about kind of what that's been like going from kind of these like more like well-known careers to really minimalizing just kind of living in Airbnbs, doing some Uber Eats. What does reverse engineering your life mean to you?
I would say just what wakes you up in the morning, really. Like, and it's sometimes it might come earlier on in life or later on. It was kind of in the middle, I guess, for me. But back to the real estate photography, I would just meet these agents that were in the industry of like a flight attendant for 30 years or doing this for 30 years. And then they finally got into real estate. I'm like, crap, I think I should be jumping into this because all these people were just kind of getting into it. But my interest was it with construction and everything. But back to reverse engineer, like whatever gets you up in the day, every day, set that and just build the relationships like I did with Jen or I did with you. And you'll get help throughout that way. And then one day it'll just pop up like, hey, I freaking made it. And that's what I'm going to wake up one day. I mean, I made it so far, but I'm going to get to that last goal and it's going to be great.
I think it's so awesome. And I've really been thankful that I've just kind of gotten to know you a little bit more on the show today, but I love that. And I think what wakes you up in the morning is what we're going to turn to next. So Miss Deja, I really want you to talk to the listeners about, everyone gets passion and purpose, like really confused. Purpose and gift also gets confused. A lot of people have gifts, but it's not necessarily their passion. So tell me a little bit about what you think is passion for you, what wakes you up in the morning, but then also what is your gift?
So I guess kind of piggybacking off of what Nate said, kind of like unlearning and relearning what you've been taught. We've been taught, go to college, go to the military, and just work a 9 to 5 and then die. So I feel like I really had to find my purpose in life, something that I was really interested in, something that sparked my interest and kept me going. And I worked a job too. I worked a 9 to 5, but I jumped out on faith. And after I quit my job, I had many transactions come after that. And so that really kept me going. Like, you can do it. You just have to push yourself. You have to keep going. And for anybody that wants to be an agent, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be a walk in the park because it is entrepreneurship. So nobody's going to be telling you to punch a clock at 9 o'clock and get off at 5. You have to push yourself. So you have to have that determination and you have to know what your higher self looks like so that you know where you want to be.
And in this industry, what just wakes you up every day? What is the one piece of like what you're doing today that's just like, yep, I'm getting up for that?
My family. I have to build my mom's house from the ground up. So I have to keep going. I have to get rich.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. Now we're going to go to Ms. Spinelli over here. She's talked a little bit about team building and just structure. But what I'm really going to have her talk about today is change. You know, our life path is not always what we planned. So I think she's a great person to just be candid and transparent out there. Jen and I are both divorced and we both are basically single parents. So I just want you to really talk to people out there, Jen, about just change. And when your life takes a twist and turn, how did you adapt to change? How did you get over the hard humps? And like, what are you doing today to be successful dealing with change?
We all know that social media makes you look like you're perfect and you live this amazing life. And I've had a lot of wins, but those first 3 years when you got divorced, I mean, I only knew married life. My purpose is my children. Every day I wake up every morning, and the reason I go to work and drive so hard is that, you know, to leave a legacy for them. And I feel like I've done good, but there were some really hard times. And truthfully, if it wasn't for my new real estate team, like group, I don't know how I would function. My customers, even my clients, they are there for me day in and day out. I've like made relationships with them and I've met all their family members. I've helped all their family. You know, finding my purpose has definitely taken a change recently. It's trying to find your purpose in real estate. You know, I love mentoring. I love telling people. But one thing that you even taught me was to celebrate my wins. I've been so closed in lately, and changing my life over the last year has been great for me. I am now celebrating those wins and I'm making it very public, and people may say, dang, that girl's really doing it. It's been a struggle though. So it doesn't come easy. You have to educate yourself every day. I'm a learner. I may be mentoring everyone around me, but I'm learning also. So
I love that. I love also, you know, what I think is like really important for people out there to hear. When you can bless people in your storm, it ends up being so powerful. And I think that when everyone has a breakdown, they have a breakthrough. And so if you are today just kind of in a situation where you feel like it's not all working out, and maybe it's that change or that fear that Nate or Deasia talked about, just remember that even in that storm, bless other people, work through other people, become a united front with other people. And even if they are winning and you're not, it comes back to you 100 times fold. And that journey and that process that we talked about today, I hope was helpful. So Nate, if someone wants to communicate with you, could you give them your phone number, please?
Yeah, for sure, Betsy. My phone number is 724-961-4485.
And also Miss Deasia, throughout those digits.
Yes, that'll be 727-455-4961. And
Miss Jen Spinelli, throughout the phone number for everyone.
And by the way, thank you, Robert, for having us today. It's 727-459-9650.
I'm so happy that you guys all came today. Did you have a good time?
Yes.
It was amazing.
And I think that it is awesome just to really get to highlight all of you guys' gifts and what you do and how you've gotten like from here to there. I appreciate all of your transparency and your time. We at LPT definitely want everyone to win. We are super excited about Grand Prix. Again, please reach out to any one of these agents here if you're interested in finding out what that's about. If you're interested in being on the show, you can visit our LPT Realty All-Star Facebook group. Like us and follow. We are putting tidbits and tricks up there almost every other day on life, business, and real estate. We obviously are wanting you to come on the show. We're a catalyst and connector in the community. Anyone that provides value and just dives in to what we do here definitely affects business and culture, community. It creates a vibe here. We're blessed to be here in Tampa Bay today. And again, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Deasia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nate. Thank you. And unfortunately, we are at our time. We thank all of our religious listeners. Do not forget to download that iHeartRadio app, and we will catch you next weekend.
Thanks for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined. We hope this episode motivated and inspired you. And don't forget to rate and review us. Thanks again for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast with Betsy Tinervin.